The story starts by introducing a woman named Dresa, who was a trained sniper with an amazing talent. She was able to stay hidden in a hole for 7 days without sleeping just to complete her mission, which was to take out her target. In New York, there was a guy named Levi, just like Dresa. Levi was an awesome sniper with a special gift for long-range shooting. He had been out of work for about a year since leaving the military. While chilling on the beach, he got a message from a private military company offering him a job. Since he desperately needed cash to pay his bills, he said yes to the offer. Elsewhere, we meet Martha, a boss at a private company still connected to the military. She quickly checked out Levi's info and found out he was a former elite sniper who had taken out about 270 people or targets. She was super impressed and wanted to offer him a job. Levi was spotted on a plane in September after Martha offered him the job, but the interesting part was that he didn't know who the target was or where they were. All he had to do was follow the instructions and jump out of the plane.
Where are we?
Levi had to trek 38 kilometers through the forest, crossing rivers and climbing cliffs for about 3 days to get to the location point. In the end, he made it to a place over a long, deep gorge covered in thick fog, which was where he was headed. There, he met a soldier who had been there for a year and was invited to a nearby tower right away. According to the soldier, he had been holding down the tower solo for a whole year. He's got everything he needed: food, weapons, ammo, you name it. Levi had to take over for a soldier whose contract had ended, and he didn't have any clues or instructions on what kind of work he was supposed to do. He would be all by himself, with no company or connection to the outside world. On top of that, he was told that his work was super top secret and he couldn't communicate with anyone outside. His only job was to keep an eye on the foggy gorge, which was surrounded by a wire fence and had explosive mines and sensors all around. There was even a cloaking satellite to keep the place hidden from internet tracking. Levi's only buddy at work was another soldier in the other tower who worked for a different country. They had been doing this job for about 75 years since World War II, with new guards swapping in every year. Levi, being nosy, asked the other guy what was in the gorge. The soldier said it was hard to explain, but if something tried to climb out, he had to stop it. Levi wasn't told anything about what he might run into. After Levi took over the job, the soldier headed to a pickup point. A helicopter was supposed to take him home, but then things got crazy. As he was climbing up the rope, someone in the helicopter took him out. It was an order from the boss to keep the place secret by eliminating anyone who knew about it.
Thank you for your service.
After a month in that place, Levi seemed to have gotten the hang of his daily tasks like checking the satellites, making sure the wire fences were good, inspecting the automated weapons, and writing monthly reports. Then one day, he stumbled upon some notes left by the people who had the job before him, including a tower guard from 1947 who wrote, "Only those who risk going too far can know how far they can go." After a whole month, Levi finally laid eyes on his work partner from the other tower, and it turned out to be Dresa. It was obvious that the people hired to be tower guards were special, with talents that regular folks just don't have. It's been 2 months since Levi and Dresa started their job as tower guards. They finally got to chat for the first time using some long-range binoculars to pass messages back and forth. Besides getting to know each other, they also had a little competition to see who was the better shooter. But the fun ended when Dresa spotted something weird under Levi's tower, some strange creature trying to climb out of the gorge. Dresa fired off some rounds from a machine gun to help out. Just when Dresa thought she'd stop the creatures from climbing up, things got tense again when she heard something coming up her tower. And before she knew it, one of the creatures was right in front of her. It was only the start because more of those things came out from underground and even crossed the line that set off the automatic sensor. The machine guns turned on and started blasting the weird creatures. Thankfully, they eventually killed all of the creatures. The next morning, Levi wasted no time fixing all the mess from last night. He repaired the broken iron fence and replaced the automated hanging mines. Then Dresa, who was keeping an eye on Levi, noticed a little high-tech drone pop out from the thick fog and quickly take off. On Christmas Eve, Levi decided to put together a Christmas tree using some lights he found in the warehouse. It really made Dresa happy. They had a blast just hanging out, playing chess and jamming on the drums. In February, after they had both been there for 6 months, Dresa was feeling low and really missed her dad. She wasn't doing her usual patrols, which got Levi wondering what was going on. That night, Dresa told Levi that she really needed someone by her side and explained that it had been a tough day for her. She hoped he could be there for her. Knowing that Dresa needed calming down, Levi decided to meet her in person, so he planned to throw a rope to connect their towers and cross over to her tower. Dresa was shocked by Levi's plan. Levi didn't even think twice before he shot off the rocket launcher, which was tied to a rope. After Dresa had secured the rope to the tree, Levi didn't just take off right away. He took a moment to tidy up his mustache and beard, wanting to look presentable for Dresa. Then he plucked a flower and climbed across the rope to the other side. For the first time since they saw each other with binoculars, Levi and Dresa were finally able to hang out in person and grab dinner together. Then they ended the night by making out. The next day, Levi went to climb the rope back up to his tower, but then something totally unexpected happened. The rope broke because of an explosion caused by one of the creatures climbing out of the gorge. Levi ended up falling into the gorge. Dresa got ready to rescue him and then jumped in after him without hesitation. So shortly after, Dresa found herself landing in this fast-flowing river. In the chaos, she accidentally dropped the automatic winch she desperately needed to climb back up. Meanwhile, Levi was out cold, hanging upside down from a tree. As if that wasn't bad enough, there was a monster creeping up on him. Levi came to just in time to see the danger, grabbed his gun, and shot the monster. Unfortunately, he then fell to the ground and got hopelessly tangled up in these creepy, living roots with fangs, which made it impossible for him to break free. Thankfully, Dresa arrived just in the nick of time to save him.
Like you wouldn't do the same.
Before they even had a moment to catch their breath, 2 more creatures showed up, riding some kind of horse-like beasts. They attacked Levi and Dresa in the thick fog. Despite the sudden assault, the 2 of them managed to hold their ground and survive, thanks to their training as soldiers. In the dense fog, they wandered without any sense of direction. Eventually, they stumbled upon this eerie ghost town that had clearly been abandoned for a long time. They also discovered cracks in the ground, remnants of an old earthquake. Realizing the danger of staying out in the open, Levi and Dresa decided to take refuge in an old church filled with dried-up human corpses. While they were surveying the area, these strange spider-like creatures with human skulls suddenly appeared. They realized they couldn't keep fending off the endless attacks, so Dresa used an explosive to blast a way for them to escape, and they bolted from the church as quickly as they could. Levi and Dresa ran until they found this massive underground bunker. Once inside, they quickly realized it was some sort of secret research lab. Levi found an old cassette and wasted no time in playing it to see what it contained. The old video recording showed a scientist, the leader of this top-secret government project, explaining what had happened. Back in the 1940s, when World War II had just ended and Oppenheimer was developing nuclear weapons, this secret organization had also been working on biochemical weapons that were just as deadly. But in the midst of their research, a major earthquake caused a leak. The leaked biochemical weapon triggered a genetic mutation that mixed human DNA with plants, animals, and anything within a 4.9 kilometers radius. The result was all those strange creatures Levi and Dresa had encountered. Levi and Dresa then found a room containing a modern computer that couldn't possibly have been from the 1940s. When Levi booted up the computer, they uncovered something shocking about the person who had recruited them, Martha. She was the head of a private company called Dark Lake, which was involved in genetic research and defense. Martha had deliberately kept this gorge secret to use it as a research sample to create a super soldier army for the U.S. defense. Levi also found a folder called Stray Dog. It was a backup plan in case of a leak. If anything went wrong, a big warhead with radiation would blow up on its own with a range of about 4.2 kilometers. Levi and Dresa were trying to find a way out of the gorge when Dresa got caught in a trap set by a creature on a horse. From the drag marks, Dresa was pulled for 500 meters. Levi found where Dresa had been taken, a big hole with a giant missile that hadn't been launched yet. Dresa was tied up in a half-human, half-tree figure that was looking at her. It was obvious that this creature used to be a human who was exposed to a biochemical weapon. When the thing was about to grab her, Dresa quickly moved out of the way. Then Levi came to lend a hand to beat the strange creature. As they searched for a way to get back up to the surface, they stumbled upon what looked like a creepy, mutant creature that was part plant, part human. They carefully made their way through it, but Dresa ended up stepping on it by mistake, which made the creature go on the attack. Dresa had to set off explosives to take it down. So they found this old warehouse and some beat-up cars with a pretty good pulley. They messed around with the car's engine, then hightailed it to the spot where Levi took a tumble. When they got there, they hooked the rope up to the car's pulley and were all set to start climbing. But just as they were getting started, those creepy creatures popped up, and they had to battle them while they tried to make their way up the gorge. In the end, they made it to the surface after a long battle. Levi quickly headed back to his tower, and as soon as he got there, he used a satellite phone to give the monthly report. But to his surprise, Martha answered the call and had just found out about the activated computer under the gorge. She wanted to know who was responsible for it. In addition to talking about her company's mission of creating a super soldier project for national defense, Martha mentioned that she had to take out the person who activated the computer, and because Levi wouldn't own up to it, she threatened to eliminate his colleague, Dresa. Levi and Dresa knew things were going to go south, so they made a plan ahead of time. They rigged all the cloaking satellites with explosives to give Martha and her troops a surprise. In short, Martha came but couldn't find Levi anywhere. When she figured out that Levi and Dresa planned to escape, she sent out some drones to find and take them out, but they were able to take down all the drones that were after them. After dealing with the drones, Levi and Dresa quickly blasted the satellites.
What the hell was that?
This set off the Stray Dog Protocol, signaling a huge explosion was about to go down. Everyone scrambled to get out. Martha hopped in a helicopter while Levi and Dresa booked it on foot. The explosion went off and Martha didn't make it while Levi fell into the water, but Dresa managed to get out of the danger zone in time. 2 months after the incident, Dresa was working as a waitress at a restaurant when Levi unexpectedly showed up. Turns out he had survived the explosion.